Welcome back to episode 48 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. Myself and Matt today, we got the league championship series in both leagues that are starting. I'm not in it, as you know, but Matt is, so we got to talk some Phillies, and we're going to talk about the other series. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Episode 47. We didn't jump ahead one. 47.
47. I knew I'd botch that.
We're good. I'm doing great. Phillies are up 1-0. And listen, I'm sorry, this is coming out after game 2, but we're recording it before game 2. We didn't want to stay up. I didn't want to stay up. Mello, it wouldn't be any problem for Mello, but I didn't really want to stay up till 11 o'clock. I would have been yawning the whole time. It wouldn't have been a good podcast episode. I couldn't have brought the energy like I am right now. So, I hate that it's going to be coming out after game 2, but we recorded it beforehand, but that's the way it is. I'm doing great. I am very pleased with how my Phillies are doing right now. I'm in a tough spot with the Rangers and Astros. I predicted the Astros were going to win, and
So did I.
But I kind of want the Rangers to win. So it's a bit of a weird spot there for me. But how are you doing, Mello?
I'm doing okay. I'm still not over the loss of the Diamondbacks, but a week has gone by. It's like, all right, we can kind of move on a little bit. Andrew Freeman gave his annual bullshit press conference where Dave Roberts is coming back. The media doesn't ask him any hard questions. Everything's going to be okay, and we're going to try it again next year. Same BS every year. I had to hear that today again for 45 minutes. Other than that, I'm doing fine.
Well, I mean, hopefully things will improve there in Dodgerland this coming
No, they won't.
season. I don't have high hopes, but you know.
I don't either.
So we're going to be giving our thoughts, our opinions on the 2 ALCS games that happened already and the 1 NLCS game that happened already. We'll start in the American League. Got 2 games to knock out there. The Rangers are up 2 games already, 2-0 on the Astros. They took both games down there in Houston in Minute Maid Park. And the second game was close. The first game was not really close. The Rangers handled business, and Jordan Montgomery has been probably, him or Zach Wheeler, the most dominant pitcher in the postseason this year. Not sure how the stats match up against each other, but they've both been really good. And then in the second game, I mean, Yordan Alvarez, heat check, he's on fire. He hit 2 home runs, and guess what?
game.
It was. But the Rangers still won anyway. So, Aroldis Chapman tried his best to choke the game. And the Rangers were still able to hold on somehow. What do you think in 2 games into this series?
So much for a shaky bullpen and a shaky rotation.
Yeah.
That was the 2 biggest problems coming into the postseason for the Texas Rangers. We didn't know what kind of starting pitching they were going to get out of guys like Jordan Montgomery and Nathan Eovaldi. And again, they didn't know what was going to happen with this bullpen. Now, the biggest part of their success has been this Rangers offense putting up 7, 8 runs, 9 runs a game. So you're not putting pressure on your bullpen to get a big 3 outs. It's by the time your bullpen's up, it's already out of reach, and you're getting good starting pitching from your top 2 guys. Nathan Eovaldi, what a great signing that was for the Rangers.
That's right.
3-0, and he's going deep in the games, and that's the success of the Texas Rangers and all these teams that are here. You have starting pitchers that are going to go 2 times through the order and maybe a 3rd time. They're pitching deep in the games. They're getting timely hitting. Don't tell the Rangers that they don't belong here, because they're proving it that they definitely belong here, and they're 2 wins away from a trip to the World Series. And may I mention that they have at least 2 games at home, probably a 3rd one, but they're 2 wins away from the World Series, and They deserve it. They deserve it, and the series is not over yet. But I love what I'm seeing out of Texas right now.
Yeah, they've looked really good. And we've all said that the formula for the Rangers is electric offense and their pitching's got to be good enough. But you're mostly relying on that offense. And when the offense is rolling and the pitching's also clicking for you, you got a pretty good formula right there. Um, like I said, Aroldis Chapman tried his best to choke that game away for the Rangers, and they were still able to hold on anyway. Going forward in this series, I think Game 3, I think Houston's got to win that one. I mean, I feel like they've got to. It's even though it's the series is shifting to Texas, well, not to Texas. You know what I'm saying? To the Rangers,
The other
for their
side of
home
Texas.
field. Exactly. To the Dallas area. Sorry. Or Arlington, whatever it even is. I think Dallas.
It's all I think the
Dallas.
same thing.
Yeah, close enough.
Jerry World is right across the street, I think.
That's right. So even though the series is shifting there, I think the Astros are going to take Game 3. I think they've got the better pitcher. I think they got Christian Javier, whereas this is going to be Max Scherzer's first start back. Yeah, it's going to be his first start back from being the injured. I don't even know when the last time he pitched. September, early September? No, before that. August.
I think it was August, late August, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a little while, and sometimes those first games back, you don't know what to expect. I mean, could he be full-on Max Scherzer, who he has been in the past, or could be looking at a rocky start here? I mean, this Astros offense is no joke either. They've got guys who are able to perform in the postseason with Altuve, and Jordan is on, like I said, he's on another level right now. I did a graphic with scariest hitters to face right now. Jordan is a clear number one, and that's over my guy Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos, who are also on fire right now. But he's got like, 5 home runs in 5 games right now, or something like that. Like, I don't even know. What do you, there's no splits that you like against him. Like, he can handle anything. You can't throw a lefty at him because he hits lefties better than he hits righties. And it's not like he hits righties bad at all. So they tried pitching up and in on him, and he just drove that over the right field fence. So I'm not sure. You're just going to be pitching around him, I guess, to the best of your ability. But he's so big that he covers the plate so well. I don't want to say Barry Bonds, but like, not esque, but like, okay, maybe Ryan Howard's a better comparison. If Ryan Howard didn't get injured, I see Yordan Alvarez in Ryan Howard, or yeah, a little bit. So I'm not sure. I think the Rangers are going to win the series now at this point because 2-0 is basically impossible to overcome. Yankees being one of the few teams to choke that out there. Shout out Big Poppy calling Derek Jeter out on the set afterwards. That was hilarious. You feel pretty confident, though, in the Rangers closing the series out?
I do. They have the home. Now they got the games back in their home park. Fans are going to be fired up. This offense, while their numbers have gone down a little bit, they're not putting up 10 runs a game like they did against Baltimore. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to pull this series out and win it. I haven't seen anything that tells me otherwise. They're getting good starting pitching, and their offense is doing just enough.
I mean, yeah. And who knows when that offense could hit the next gear here, and we see one of those 10-run games,
It's coming.
Rangers patent offense. Yeah, exactly. Marcus Semien hasn't been doing too much in these playoffs. He's kind of due as an offensive player there. I will address my bold prediction that I made that the Astros would score more than 4 runs every game and score 8 runs twice. I wasn't counting on the Rangers pitching being as good as it has been, so I was wrong. So that's all there is to it. The Rangers didn't, or Astros didn't score two runs in the first game.
They scored none in the first game, and they scored
None in the
four in the
first game.
second game.
Yes, yes. So my prediction was out the window after the first game. Now, hey, they did manage to score 4 in the next game. So if I can throw out that first game as just an anomaly, I'll be all right with that. But Astros offense needs to get going here. They need to be able to tee off against Max Scherzer. So we'll see.
Yeah, and we're gonna segue into the Phillies right now. But if you would have told me a year ago that Aroldis Chapman and Craig Kimbrell would be in high leverage situation games in the postseason, I would have said you're crazy. They didn't put Craig Kimbrell on the Dodgers playoff roster last year, and Aroldis Chapman was in Kansas City up and down. So baseball's weird sometimes.
It is. It is. And it's enough to give me a heart attack. Craig Kimbrell on the mound in the ninth inning for the Phillies. I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd like it if Alvarado was our ninth inning guy, but I guess that's not exactly his forte or what Rob Thompson likes or wants. So whatever, not my call, obviously. But Phillies up 1-0, and like I said, they're going to be playing Game 2 tonight. So you'll know the outcome, and we will not have talked about it until we do the next episode. Don't like it, but that's just how it is. Bryce Harper went off. Nick Castellanos went off. Trey Turner has gone off. The offense is rolling. Zach Wheeler was doing his thing. He got clipped by Geraldo Perdomo, which wouldn't have written him down as a guy who I thought was going to have, 2 or 3 home runs in the postseason now. He would have been like one of the later guys I would have named on the D-backs just because he's not known to be a power guy necessarily. But, hey, when he pulls one as a lefty, it was enough to sneak over the wall out there in right field in Citizens Bank. But Phillies offense is rolling, and I'm not sure that there's going to be anything that can stop them right now. And that includes going to the World Series. So I feel great with where the Phillies are at. If we can hold the opposing team to no runs in the first, especially when we're playing at the bank, Philly's able to jump all over them. I mean, Zach Gallen was one of the best pitchers in the National League right here this season, and Philly had no trouble scoring 3 or 4 runs off of him in the first inning. Schwarber jumped to first pitch. That's sort of Schwarb's signature move. If he can get a hold of one, his first pitch bomb. But Bryce Harper came and followed that up, and yeah, I feel great. I feel fantastic about where the Phillies are right now.
As you should be. And it took one pitch for Zach Gallen to realize, oh yeah, I'm not facing the Dodgers anymore, where I can just throw cookies down the middle and they'll swing and miss at it. These are the Phillies that'll jump on anything I throw. So
That's right.
You should feel good about them. And like I said, and I mentioned this off camera, and you just mentioned it a second ago, if you come to Citizens Bank Park and you don't score a run in the top of the first, Philly's already winning the game. To that point, they may not end up winning the game at the end, but if you can get a scoreless inning out of the Phillies in the top of the first, Philly's already winning the game. You're already down because that crowd gets into it and it just elevates this offense to another level. Trey Turner forgets how to hit a baseball with the Dodgers in the playoffs last year.
First half for the Phillies, too. Sort of.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden starts feeling good. He starts getting a couple hits. He starts feeling good about himself. The Philly fan base rallies behind him, and then he's got the support of his teammates, and now here he is doing what you should be doing with that kind of money. Performing in the biggest lights, and it's fun to see. It's good to see. So yeah, you should feel good about the Phillies as long as they stick to their game plan and stick to what they're doing. Series is gonna be over quickly if they keep doing what they're doing.
Hey, that's the plan. I mean, Aaron Nola going out here for Game 2, and then Ranger Suarez for the Phillies game 3, Merrill Kelly tonight for the D-backs, which he said that he doesn't think Phillies atmosphere will be able to trump
Why are you
playing
saying that?
Venezuela against the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic, which I believe he meant. He said in Miami. Wasn't that game in Arizona? Or did
That
Venezuela
was in
advance too?
Miami.
Okay,
That was
was
in
in the
Miami. The
quarterfinals.
quarterfinal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But yeah, Merrill Kelly, I don't know about that one. I really don't know about that one. The only games in the World Baseball Classic that I think could rival a Phillies postseason game, especially with the way the Phillies are playing right now, is USA versus Mexico, and then USA versus Japan in the final. And I wasn't at that game, but
We were there for
I
the
was.
other one.
Yes, we were there for USA Mexico, and that atmosphere was crazy. So I don't
Joe
know.
Blow.
I think you're going to be in for a shock. And didn't the D-backs learn their lesson from the Braves? Don't poke the fans. Like, don't poke the bear. Arcia, you gave us. I mean, you don't really give fans bulletin board material, but you gave us material to make a big deal out of, and we did. And that's what Phillies fans are going to do. Spencer Strider inadvertently did it when he was doing an interview and saying about the he doesn't
No
want
fans.
whether that was a joke or not, it doesn't matter. Phillies fans
was
took
not
it as
joking.
not a joke, and you see posters all around. Strider, is this too loud for you? Anything like that? Like, Phillies fans were just going to cheer even louder. Then whenever Orlando Arcia came up, we wouldn't have had an issue with you before you made those comments. Like, you were the last person on our mind in that Braves lineup until you made the comments about Attaboy Harper. And then Harper clips your team for 2 home runs and stares you down, and the fans love it. They boo every time you come up to the plate. Like, you brought it upon yourselves. And now Merrill Kelly, I'm sorry. I kind of like you as a pitcher, but what are you doing? There's no need to say anything like that. Like, you're just giving material for Phillies fans.
Attaboy, Matt. You tell him.
That's right.
Diamondbacks, if you want any chance of winning this series, put your head down, keep your mouth shut, and go play the game. Don't say anything. There's this saying in life. Sometimes less is more. This is one of those situations.
Definitely.
Don't say anything.
I just don't see what is there to gain. I understand being honest with the media and stuff like that, but like, nobody's forcing you into a corner to say that.
Tell the
Like,
Braves that.
Yeah, that comes up on its. You're the one who has to bring that up. Nobody's asking you about a specific atmosphere. At least I don't think, unless I could be totally wrong. I don't think that's the way the question was. It was. I imagine the question was something like, "What do you expect out of this atmosphere?" Or what do you expect having not pitched in an atmosphere like this? And then he brought up that game. You could have just said, "Hey man, I'm sure this atmosphere is going to be great. They seem to have great fans in Phillies. In Philly it's going to be tough, but I'm a professional, whatever, blah blah blah. I've played in how many major league games? I don't think it'll be an issue. But even then, I mean, you're still kind of giving material to Phillies fans.
Still doesn't sound good.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't think that there was any reason to say that necessarily. But whatever. Hey, you're helping us out. Even though I'm not at the game, I'll still be yelling at the TV louder for Merrill Kelly to get hit pretty hard. But whatever.
You'll be on the roof like those fans in the last round.
No, you won't catch me dead up there. No. That is way too high up for me. Unless
You'll
I
be
am
up there when the
strapped
fireworks
into,
go off.
that'd be a good view, but I'm good. Unless I am strapped into a plane at that height, or I mean, I'm sure buildings are that high. I'd be okay in the whatever 100th floor or however high up we'd have to be to get on there, or on a roller coaster. If a roller coaster goes that high, I'd be okay strapped into a cart on some metal tracks going up that high. But I'm not just free fall or freestanding up there on my own. Not even to watch a Phillies postseason game. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm good. Even with
Yeah, you
these,
got your limits too.
yeah, even with these high ticket prices, which bring us some of those cheap tickets out east. Come on now. I was looking at D-backs Phillies when the series goes to Arizona. It's like $60 for a ticket. I'm like, what are we doing here? The cheapest is like $300 for a Phillies ticket right now.
I think it's cheaper for you to fly out to Arizona, buy a cheap ticket, and go watch the game.
It very well might be. I'm sure I could get a Spirit airline ticket for 80 bucks or something. So,
A cheap
if I was willing
hotel.
to, exactly, if I was willing to risk a Spirit Airlines flight and maybe getting stabbed in my hotel, it might be worth it to see a Phillies D-backs game. But nice stadium out there, I will say that. But if you are going to a game, how would you get your tickets, Mello?
You would go through SeatGeek.
You would.
ATD, $20 off your first purchase. Use it. Baseball season's almost over. I know for most of the country, your team's probably not in it, but if you're close by, why not? You'll save $20. You can use it also for any other sport, concerts. It's worth it. ATD, $20 off your first purchase. Use that promo code, the official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
That's right. That's right. And our exclusive ticketing partner, too. I mean, that's who I just went to a Penn State game, ordered my tickets through SeatGeek. Use code ATD as well, so save myself $20. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, when you see the advertisements, if you're at the game or if you see it on TV, you get a glimpse of it. You see the advertisements in the postseason on the ribbon boards. If you see SeatGeek, think of us because that's who we're affiliated with.
That's right. And we're trying to save you some money. These ticket prices, like I said, they're high. So we're trying to save you every bit of money that we can. So yeah, $20 off your first purchase if you're going to any games anytime soon. Check it out. You got anything else you want to add to these series yet, Mello?
Because the Diamondbacks beat me in the last round, and because I absolutely despise the Houston Astros, give me Rangers Phillies World Series. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Hey, I'm all on board for that. I think that'd be one of the most exciting series for sure. I don't want to see a rematch of 2022, and that's not just because we lost to the Astros. It's nice to get revenge, but like that doesn't mean that much to me in this case. Like we get our revenge if we win the World Series, whether it's against the Astros or against the Rangers. Doesn't matter to me. I have a bit of Astros fatigue, though. I'll say that from seeing them in so many ALCS and World Series games, but I would definitely take Rangers Phillies World Series, and obviously that's what it's looking like at this point. And then I would be able to go like this. Give me that. Give me that.
Ring him.
No, that's right. I ain't flipping anybody off. I'm pulling the Nick
Matt gets a
Castellanos.
ring too.
Ring me. That's right. Part of the media. Give me my postseason share.
Yes, you wear your National League Championship ring of 2022 very proudly.
Well, listen, I would have been there to get my replica ring, but the game was on Easter. What are we doing scheduling people? Come on now. But I wear
Lord's
my
Day.
that's right. I wear my 2022 National League Championship National League Champions shirt proudly. I'll say that much. But yeah.
World Series participation T-shirt.
All right. Listen, I would have gotten World Series merch, but we lost, so I wasn't going to get World Series merch. I got to get something from the series we won.
Hey, you might get a chance this time.
I sure hope so. I will buy a shirt, 100%. So, I think that's going to be everything for episode 47.
I think so.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll have another episode coming out maybe Friday, Saturday. We'll see what the schedule looks like for everybody. We'll talk to you later. See ya.
Adios.